Greetings, fellow shoppers. I'm Jacquelyn Lynn. I'm an author, a ghostwriter, and a self-publishing consultant, and this is my unboxing channel. Doing something a little different today. I want to start by explaining that when I did How to Survive an Active Shooter, the expert source who helped me with this book taught me an awful lot about the risks of firearms in certain self-defense situations. And I'll have information about this book in the description below if you want to learn more about that. But it got me to thinking about the benefit of having non-lethal self-defense mechanisms. Now, I happen to have something called a Tiger Lady, which I don't have in front of me, but it's a claw thing that you carry in your hand. And the challenge with that is to use it, the assailant has to get close enough for me to touch him. That's not acceptable. And sometimes your assailant is not always a human. If you're into hiking and camping and that kind of thing, even in cities, I mean, we live in the suburbs. We have raccoons in our yards. So you want something that can take care of a human or an animal assailant under a variety of situations that may not necessarily be lethal and that is legal to carry. So I learned about Byrna non-lethal weapons, and maybe it's not right to call them weapons, but non-lethal. They're actually air guns. So we purchased this Byrna HD air gun. I keep wanting to call it a weapon and want to be fair and accurate here. Anyway, we got this to have a non-lethal self-defense device available to us. Now, this looks like a 9mm pistol. It comes in solid black and the orange. Now, I chose the orange because I want it very clear to anybody who might be looking at me if I'm carrying this in a holster, if I pull it out of my purse for some reason. I don't want a police officer to think that I have a lethal weapon in my hand, and this design helps with that. There's something else in this box. Let me see what it is. Oh, our extra okay, what this does, it is, as I said, it's an air gun. So it fires pellets that look like this. And we have inert pellets that have nothing in them. And they also make pellets that have a plain powder in them for test firing. Then they have pellets that contain pepper and a tear gas type of powder. It's all powder, and they explode on impact, and they're pretty nasty. There are a lot of other videos reviewing these weapons, and if you're interested in them, you may want to check them out. But the idea is that if you fire, this fires with accuracy up to 60 feet and maybe even further. And so if an assailant is coming at you, if they get to 20 feet, that's as close as, if I'm not comfortable with you, that's as close as I want you to get to me. And if I can fire this at you, if you're intending to do me harm, I have stopped you and I have given myself plenty of time to get out of the situation. And if you were not intending to do me harm and I shoot you with this, you're going to be uncomfortable for a half an hour or so, but you're going to be fine. So this is, we thought it's a great home self-defense device, and also you can probably carry this in places where you would not be allowed to carry an actual firearm, even with a concealed carry permit. And of course, the laws vary so drastically, state by state, even community by community. You want to be absolutely certain, if you get one of these, that you're legal to have it. But you should be able to have it in your home regardless. And again, it's non-lethal, but it will stop someone and it will give you a chance to get away from a dangerous situation. So I need to read the instructions, learn how to work it, and then we're going to take it outside and fire it. So stick around and see what happens when we do that. Okay, well, we've studied and we've practiced, and I want to show you how this Byrna projectile launcher works. The first thing that needs to happen is to put the CO2 cartridge in so it has power to push out the projectiles. That is on the front of the launcher, and there's a little cover here that there's an Allen wrench that I'll show you in a minute. All right, you take off this little cover, slide in the CO2 cartridge, and screw this cover back on. It'll go almost all the way with just your fingers, but there is, in the magazine, at the end of the magazine, there's a little kind of an Allen wrenchy kind of thing that is designed to tighten this down. And it doesn't have to be super tight, just flush. Now, it being in the launcher will not puncture the CO2 cartridge. It doesn't puncture until you pull the trigger the first time. First trigger pull punctures the cartridge. Second trigger pull fires a projectile. Now, it doesn't have any projectiles in it at the moment. One important thing is the safety, and the safety is ambidextrous. So however you hold the weapon, you can turn the safety on and off. All right, when it's in the up position, the safety is on. When you push it down, and you'll notice that it's down on either side, it's ready to fire. So we're going to put it back on. Now, to load the magazine with projectiles, pretty simple, is you take the magazine and you push them in till you hear them snap. Now they're okay, it takes 5, and they're in there pretty good. They're, tight. And now put the magazine into the bottom until it snaps in, and you are ready to we are ready to turn the safety off and go outside and fire. But I want to show you one more thing. There's a little button kind of thing on the top, and it might be hard for you to see, but when it is up, it means there is a projectile in the chamber. So, okay, to take the magazine out, the magazine release is here, and you press it and it drops out. And I can count here that there's only 4 projectiles, and that's because there is a projectile in the chamber. And that's how it works. To get that projectile out, you press that button, and there it is. To get the rest of the projectiles out of the magazine, you press this, and I'm going to have to do it into my hand because they're under a little bit of pressure, and I don't want them flying all over the place. So now your magazine is empty. You can put it back in here, and that little indicator button on the top is smooth. So now I'm going to reload, and we're going to go outside and shoot something. Okay, we are outside and ready to test fire the Byrna HD launcher. And this is the first time this has been fired. All right, first thing, I've loaded it up. Gonna take the safety off. I'm about 20 feet away from the target, and I'm not a super great shot, but let's see how I do. Oh, and remember, the first pull, nothing happens because I've just pierced the CO canister. CO2 canister. I got really close to the bullseye with that one. Let me do it again. Oh, this is fun. You do have to pull this trigger hard. Yeah. Okay, let's go see. Okay, my first shot went right there. Okay, so I wasn't quite as close on the second one, but as I said, this is accurate up to about 60 feet, and this was about 20 feet. But remember too, I'm not that great of a shot. So if this had been an assailant, they would be covered in nasty chemicals by now, right? So this is pretty cool, and thank you for watching the full demonstration. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel so that we can let you know when we have more interesting things to unbox. And if you want more information about Byrna products, I'll include some additional information and links in the description below, and hope you'll check them out. So, looking forward to seeing you again when we have another unboxing video, and in the meantime, wishing you peace and joy.